Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Strike, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 on Simoski between the South. We got the one, the only Redxwings fighting for America, freedom and democracy. Here taking on the role of the 1st Armored Division, crashing through the German lines. Breaking his way towards the German border. Here against him, though, is Freak fighting for Germany, Deutschland, 1 and 6th Panzerdivision, Winhund, dispatching these ruthless American dogs and sending them back across the Atlantic. He is setting out here with assault support, mobile defense, and German mechanized tactics with triple machine gun bulletins versus Redxwings, airborne, recon support, and rifle company, variations, bazooka, and infantry bulletins. Got a dove rifle start there for Redxwings with the Grenadier MD-42 start there for Freak, heading towards the center with MD-42 while the Pioneers move westward towards the fuel. Redxwings focusing hard on the center of the map there. Re-Echelons moving ahead of the rest of the unit. Alright, Carl, I want you to check every corner, every window. And not the kitchen again, Carl. Sorry, Sarge. Don't you sorry me. We lost the entire unit last time. Anderson catching up with the MD-42 here. In this case, Redxwings' very aggressive play here for this corner house here certainly indicates why I just don't like going here. I mean, again, there's this rifle, for example. Frick would be in a lot more trouble. As again, I just prefer this part of the map. There we go. This part of the map. And it's forward shifting about. He's going to try and sort of sneak about here into the house. That way, setting up a person to get fired the house there. That's actually reasonably clever. But we got rifle moving up there, which could catch the MD-42 in a bad spot. And it is falling back. MD-42 almost moving way into the house. Almost. It's a really long way. Really long way. There's a door there, but for some reason they can't use it. There's him going for the cough on the rifle sitting up there. More Grenadiers on the way there for Fleet. Redxwings going for double. Rifleman double reasons, which could indicate he's going for rifle here with the flankers on them. He just wants to grab a lot of territory. Again, note, he is in a slightly rare move, a somewhat rare move, rather rare move, actually going to head for the center. He's ignoring the rest of the map, he just to focus in the center. And of course, he can draw Freak into an engagement here where he just loses a lot of manpower. It can work out, but at the same time, it does bear some risk there for Redxwings, because if it fails for him, I mean, he's going to have no resources to really make do with, because, I mean, Frick is getting more fuel now here than Redxwings. So it is not without its risks. It is not without its risks. And we can see that he's being down with a lot of pressure there against Redxwings. MD-42 Grenadiers, they're all firing away, wrapping up to support here. Reactions moving westwards now. Ambulance away there for Redxwings, 3rd Grenadier Squad there for Freak, and the 1 and 16th Panzerdivision Winhund. Heavy truck waiting for deployment. Reactions up against the Pioneers there. Rifle almost wiped out here by the Grenadiers and the MD-42 very close here, and ambulance there eyeing for Redxwings, rushing ahead. Beep beep. And Rifle to occupy the house. He's not retreating though. He's actually planning on moving the ambulance out into the town centre there and reinforced from the front line. I mean, pretty impressive. I mean, most players don't use the ambulance at all like that, but usually I find the more interesting American players and also the more interesting ones. I said interesting, tri-unit unit, but also I think more good ones usually tend to use the ambulance. In this case, he's just fully retreating because he's now got nothing to cover the retreat. But right here, he is in fact setting up with a forward ambulance here to reinforce his troops. So he's going to need more troops to support it soon enough. He isn't falling back. Pioneers on the fire from there for the re-echelons. And meanwhile, Freak entering into the village proper there with Grenadiers moving forward. A lot of them depleted, so he can't really push far ahead here. He can't push too far ahead, but turning up with the rifle about. And he probably doesn't expect Redxwings to set up a forward ambulance here inside the village centre. So that's going to rather leave him freaking a problem there. There you go, Grenadiers retreating him before it's also kind of pat spot. He's not got a lot of good troops that can keep fighting this, and again, Redxwings has, thanks to the forward ambulance, fresh troops to fight him. Well, reasonably fresh troops. Back here, reinforcement going on. Nothing further there for Redxwings. Certainly no sign of a doctrine there for the 1st Armoured as of yet. Freak here responding with a mortar, a grenade after that way, bomb his way through Redxwings' iron hold on the centre. We got a fighting position going up to cover the flank here, cover the part of this village. Interesting aggressive move there from Redxwings. He is again definitely not playing a usual match here, but that's the Redxwings we all like to watch. And before the lone helper just firing away, the rifle dead, just popping in that to reinforce. Sneaky move there, fighting position up, and setting up there to fire rifle grenades. That's probably why it just have some sort of very improvised laterally position there. Rifle grenades firing off there. Rifle and others moving up there to heal there from the ambulance before moving over to the fight. Reason pushing up against Freak's fuel point. Very good work. Then he's reinforcing. Take up more Pioneers. He has taken up, but he's not moving the others towards. Actually lost him to the reactions. That's not good there for him. Abandoning here the fighting position. Not upgrading it, by the way. Not upgrading, so it's only using it for the rifle grenades. Very interesting there by Redxwings rather than they're popping out. And again, note I think he orders them to reinforce, and then, you know, he can just sort of quickly pop them out there because it will still sort of count up there, the little timer. So that one can just sort of go in and out, in and out, in and out. Very interesting move there by Redxwings, and certainly also a neat little trick I actually didn't really know about, but, you know, go figure. Units flanking about, they're recently being outmaneuvered here, pretty bad there for Redxwings. I think he's going for the Lieutenant here, there's certainly a bit of a resource drop, and there goes this Lieutenant there for Redxwings and the 1st Armoured. Up here we got the Taker, but interesting enough, he's dispatching the Pioneers ahead here to the south, kind of moving towards the west, but he's not building up his like to make a nice company. More to fight on the fighting position, now Redxwings their position to fire his rifle grenades from at Frick's forces. Frick, though, I think should just, you know, not try and put so much pressure here, should just try and grab the rest of the map there in the meanwhile, because, I mean, he's allowing Redxwings with a smaller force to occupy a lot more Frick's forces, so I can't help but feel that it's less efficient there by Frick, less efficient. Gun this light machine gun service the re-echelons. There we go. Push them back. Can grab at the fuel point. Gun this reinforcing. Still not like to make a nice company. He's got a lot of forces at the front line which are not in a good condition. The MD-42 Vet G2 though is very low in health. The Grenadiers are as well. He's going for more Grenadiers here. I mean, a quick half-track take, or even a command bunker at the front line could do him a lot of good just to have some sort of forward reinforcement position. That way, at least allow him to sort of successfully go through the village centre there. Rather than taking heavy damage from the MD-42, the mortars, Pioneers are just firing away at the fighting position up close. Shoot! But it's dirt and sandbags! Just keep shooting! I'm sure it will crumble before German superior ammunition. And we got recon support from Redxwings, and he's actually called in some Iron R Pathfinders. Hello! This match is only getting more interesting. Not only is it a Redxwings match with a fighting position just used rifle grenades, we got recon support! Good golly, Miss Molly. Frick though really needs to take up though. Again, that is really not something good for him. Again, he's really just pushing a position he, I think, can't really maintain. These guns should pop out and quickly use the field first aid kit just to heal before pushing out. Instead, he's sending them out there without any healing. That feels like a bit of a mistake there by him. I mean, for all the time they were, they could even build a bunker to reinforce from, so feels less good there. From the suppressed by Portuguese, you can see they're going to do is very low on health. And we got a Greyhound out for Redxwings. We got the M8 Greyhound out from Redxwings. Wow. This just keeps getting better and better. And he's trying out the ambulance there aggressively, crushing fences. Carl, why do you hate crushing all those fences? I hate fences. They killed my brother. Carl. Wait, you have another brother named Carl? Yeah, there's also my little brother, Carl. And there's going to be a rifleman, lieutenant, mortar they're slightly falling back there, so we can see Freak sort of realising he can't really maintain this for much longer without support. And he's also finally taking up, they cut it out much sooner. I feel that's a bit of a mistake there by Freak. And we got artillery called in here, or is it just, no, I was about to say it's a decoy barrage, but no, he's calling in the real stuff here, a swift shattering barrage. Crushing the house in a splinter. Oh, sea of splinters. Meanwhile, Greyhound here pursuing aggressively up north there, sending Freaks Grenadiers scurrying away as the Greyhound pounces away. Fun fact, Windhund is German for Greyhound. Here's an under fire, rifleman about here. Got the M8 there falling back, and we got a 2-2 on way to counter the Greyhound. Good work there. He's really pushing his light to the MD-42. He's lucky Redxwings hasn't gone for a mortar himself, otherwise the MD-42 would be very quickly dead. For that matter, grenades could also, I think, give the Freak there a bit of a problem. But there you go again, Ford Ambulance, very aggressive position. We also got the Pathfinders there fighting away with the M1 carbines. 2-2 there aiming for the 116th Panzer Division, formed up from remnants of the 116th. Panzer Division fractured on the eastern front, and the 100th training and replacement battalion stationed somewhere in Brittany, which was mostly sort of a coastal defense unit, but sort of also did some panzer training and stuff apparently. Units there being heavily suppressed, the things in the armor piercing round, Grenadiers pushing 40 and mortar firing down. M8 there taking a Panzerfaust hit to quick pursuit there, need to fall back. Oh dear, he's got about retreat the Pathfinders, Redxwings. Oh, he could even try calling down a decoy barrage. Instead, he lost a full Pathfinder unit. And he's about to lose the Greyhound. I think yes, the 2-2 is going to move in there against it. He's calling in another Greyhound though. Another Greyhound? He needs to get the ambulance out there as well. Oh dear, he's popping up the crew just to somehow, I think, preserve them. Popping out the medics as well, realizing, or at least perhaps sensing, that the ambulance is a lost cause. But there you go. Second Greyhound arriving from Redxwings. Ambulance taking hits there. Greyhound engaging with search from a gun there, hitting the 222. Ambulance popping out into, or medics popping out into the ambulance, not the other way around. That would be a bit disconcerting. Grenadiers pushing forwards here. Up north, the few being secure in that regard. Redxwings again, by keeping his opponent focused on the centre, has now secured a large chunk of the other map and, you know, all of the vital resources. Good play there by Redxwings. He's getting a lot of the fuel there compared to Freak. So in that regard, again, you can sort of see the dangers of just getting too focused in the centre there. And again, it's a flaw I find in a lot of their map, because again, they just get too focused and they just lose sight of everything else. His 74-2 is actually free, and he's actually called up a half track. He's going to upgrade for the flamethrower. He's actually going to use it to reinforce the troops to the front line, because that would be powerful if he just used it to reinforce and transport his infantry. So I kind of hope he's going for that, because again, that would just make this fight more interesting. Forward ambulances, aggressive ambulances, Greyhounds, INR Pathfinders, recon support, half tracks used to support the infantry with reinforcements. I mean, good lord. Lieutenant pushing forward, take ground being fixed up. Rifle moving up there. There you go, Grenadiers falling back. We got another squad they're holding up there in the house, with the other first one falling back behind, break it to the Greyhound. And we got the half track here, ready to support the front line Truppen. So there we go, but he needs to get control of the fuel there, Freak, otherwise he's not going to last long. And there you go, Greyhound moving up. They're shattering the cover for the Grenadiers. My God, Johannes, we have to get out of here. And there you go, Greyhound, Lieutenant Rifle pushing up there. But without any sort of real support there, it's going to be pretty difficult to deal with the Grenadiers inside of them, particularly because the half-tech can also provide some assistance. And of course, there's also the threat of the 2-2 getting back there. So far, it's not. Grenadiers almost being wiped out. You need to be careful. Ooh, very close there. Greyhound also close to Veterans U1. There you go, full retreat. Does not try to do reinforcement with the half-tech at the front line there. Freak is pulling... no hope for luck there. Ambulance again moving forwards again. Redxwings up with those aggressive tactics versus Freak. And is he going for the captain? Yes, he's going for the captain there. Just noticed the fuel drop. But it's going to go for the captain probably because he realized he can't take for armor due to all the Greyhounds. So he has to go for some kind of anti-tank then. That's going to be the anti-tank guns, obviously. No take over there for Freak. Moving towards the other fuel point. Ultimately towards the south. Fighting in the centre, we got Grenadiers 2-2 versus Vehicle Cruise Rifleman and the Greyhound. And we got the Infantry in a rather good position there for Freak. 9 kills, Veterans 3 having quite an impact there on the Americans. And he's going there for the second 2-2 here. Trying to bring back here in front of the Grenadiers. Grenadiers need to be careful, they are low on health. They are low on health. Nicely, could end up in a bit of trouble there if he's not careful. Again, he's got the half-track reinforcement at the front line, so again, that does give him some resilience at the front. Smoke's been down to brings his research grenades for his men, giving him the ability to push forward. Very good, very good. Again, Greyhounds, recon support, INR Pathfinders, aggressive ambulance, smoke, and half-tracks. Good lord. This match just keeps getting better and better. Ravner getting plastered with mortar fire, half-track falling back there. Veterans who won, but no kills. MD42 full retreat there. He's going to have to struggle a bit to contain Redxwings' advances. The Greyhound just plows through, supported by ample American infantry. Also looks like he lost the Pioneer Sport in the south. They're second to moving up. As the Greyhound there is having quite an impact on Freak. But there you go. Damage into the half-tech. Only 1-2 left. And we've got the Greyhound also heavily damaged, but close to Veteran too. Up north, the healing enforcement going on there for Freak. No tech up. Nothing else, no Panzer Grenadiers either, and we got Reasons moving up here for the south, might try and hit the victory point. At least he's got the northern fuel point back. And there you go, anti-tank into the way there for Redxwings and the 1st Armoured. Greyhound pull back for most needed repairs. Phew. The Greyhound, by the way, was the preferred reconnaissance vehicle for the Americans and rather replaced a lot of other things. So a little fun fact there. It was pretty much also the primary armoured car of the Americans, whereas, you know, the Brits used a ton of them, the Germans did a sort of few variants. The Americans largely relied on the Greyhound for that. In the south, we got the 2-2 versus the echelons. Mortified there, close to wiping out the Lieutenant, and we got one coming forwards here for Freak, having the repairs. Should try and launch a big assault from here again, that way catching off some of the Redxwings defences off guard. Captain with a bazooka there, M20 just, oh, M8. I'm so used to the M20 that when someone actually goes for the M8, I'm slightly caught off guard by it. 2-2 flanking in against the Greyhound. Into the bazooka fire, Greyhound fire as well. Actually lose the 2-2, that would not be good for Freak. And there we go, got the 2-2-2. Greyhound is still alive, almost veterancy 2. Not good there for Freak. Need to be careful of those kind of engagement. Vehicle crews up north being annihilated here by stout German resistance in the south there. And these move towards the southern fuel point there, denying that to Redxwings. Gute Arbeit, Leute.
We're losing a capture point. You need some reconnaissance?
Parney's moving down the do something. He's not repairing the half deck, interestingly enough. You'd figure he'd do that. He's also gone for mechanized. So we got mechanized versus recon support. Very interesting. Very interesting. No take up there for Freak. I hope he's not just going to play for the command tank. But I can't help but feel in this circumstance it could be a bit of a less than efficient move. But oh well. Pushing ahead here with the Greyhound. Scouting out the 2-2 in there. Getting a good hit there with, and gaining veterancy 2. Taking quite a bit of damage. He needs to be a bit careful. There you go, flanking. And got down to less than half health there. I'd like to try and use the counter shot then, the retreating grenadiers, but no, decides not to. Instead, it's going to get Panzerfaust there. There we go. Quick Panzerfaust damaging, almost knocking out there, but it's still alive and it's almost veterancy free, by the way. Almost veterancy free. But needs to get repaired. The vehicle crew, or anti-tank recruit, they're having wiped probably by a mortar. Overall now, Freak in a much more dominant position. There go, charging ahead with his command tank, his Befehlspanzerwagen. The rest of the panzers are nowhere near to be seen, but nonetheless, Oberleutnant Werner moves ahead in his command panzer. And there you go, takes a hit there from the anti-tank and up close. Ambulance needs to get out of there. M8 needs to be repaired. We've got the 2-2 moving in there. Doesn't have time for repairs. Anti-tank and they're getting flanked by the 2-2s as well. The Essence of 10 nearby. The captain is in white. Ambulance down. Looking pretty bad here for Redxwings. Looking pretty bad, if not downright grim. Good hit there on the command tank up close. Need to just repair that Greyhound before it's too late. Anti-tank gun wiped again, and there you go, popping up. The crew rifleman wiped by a straight mortar round. You're not good there for Redxwings. You see, I think he might be planning here for the Airdrop combat squad. That is rather ambitious, rather expensive. Well, 900 manpower. The trick now, of course, you have to save up 900 manpower. That's really the big issue there. That's also usually why some other things are a bit tricky there, because again, you have to save up so much manpower, and depending on your force composition, that might not be as easy to achieve. In particular, with Redxwings on the back foot here, having a large infantry force, saving up 900 manpower is quite cheeky and tricky. I mean, he's sort of getting decent value, but it's not like, say, a huge discount like, for example, the American sort of off-map combat group was in Company 1, which rather let it to be abused much of the time. So it's a lot hard to blow for the count. No, he does go for the Stuart instead, realizing that is probably not the best way to go. He's going for the M5A1 Stuart. Command tank moving ahead there, half dead. Was not uncommon to see older German vehicles used as command vehicles. For example, some of the SS divisions, Normandy had Panzer IIIs. So not too uncommon there to see older ones used for those purposes. Shot bounced. Good hit. They almost got the anti-tank, but his anti-tank gun is almost set to the gunners with the light machine guns. And there you go, wipe. Greyhound shattering the wreckage of the ambulance, but sadly can't do much there against the gunners. Could try a cancer shot there. Set against Panzerfaust there. Can't use to get past the anti-tank, and they got the command tank moving in there. Greyhound in a lot of trouble. We do have the Stuart out here for Redxwings and the 1st Armored Division. Greyhound pulling away the Stuart, charging forwards. There you go, hits the command tank. Actually gets a penetrating hit. The rear, some riflemen charging forwards. Gonna do a lot of trouble there. Oh dear, big attack here. Counter attack, there we go, almost got the 2-2-2 anti-tank. Not be able to get, we got him before 2, they're actually feet in the way. Units being annihilated. Redxwings barely got anything left. A complete slaughter here. Charge across the bridge resulted in a massacre of Redxwings men. Whew. He's down to just barely anything here. Is he going to now try for the Airdrop comic book? But certainly, it's not looking like it's got many other options, though. Even then, those options are not looking very encouraging. Meanwhile, though, he's heading through here with his vehicle crew to grab some territory there, at least try and buy time. Stuart moving through here, he's being pretty ballsy. Pretty ballsy. Going straight here for the command tank with it. Need to stun, I think, to have a better chance there, or at least, blind it. Oh, one for others. There you go, shelter. There. He gets the command tank. Frontal hit too. He gets the 2-2 as well for the Stuart. That's Stuart. I think it's pretty much dead, but that certainly had an impact there on Freak. So, although he still has the half track. Freak, though, should consider laying down some mines here and there, so that would prevent any sort of assault methods there from Redxwings. So you should try and flank and then get off a cancer shot there. But there you go, Veterinary free. Almost got the MD-4 to the up. Their house collapses. Half tech moving in as well. The vehicle crew being annihilated. I think he's trying to buy time here for the off-map combat. Airdrop combat group. Not off-map, but airdrop. There's a difference. One comes off-map, the other one comes from above map. Obviously. Quite a big distinction. Really pushing his luck here with the Greyhound. They've actually got another command tank on the way there. He's grabbing the MD-42 there. Good work by Redxwings. Greyhound needs to get out of there. Pushing his infantry as far as he can here. Completely crazy fight here by Redxwings. There you go. Grenade off. Wipes the house. Light machine gun dropped. A big loss there for Freak and the 116th Panzer Division. Really need some mines. and Pioneers being there to grab the light machine before the Americans get their filthy non-German hands on it. Got the Greyhound down the strength of the pack 40, and there you go. Command tank arriving. The Greyhound's going to go down. After it done so well, it's dead. Almost got the half track, and there you go. Panzerfaust lights it on fire. Pioneers there, almost wiped out. Grenade, quit taking them out. No. Actually didn't do anything to the pack 40. But there you go. He's almost there. He's almost there. He's just been buying time for the airdrop combat group, and there we go. Calling it in. Calling it in. '82nd Airborne there arriving. Two full paratrooper squads, both for submachine guns, plus an anti-tank gun. I mean, it's a bit random. You can get the submachine guns, you get the light machines, you get the bazookas. I think the bazookas have been really great with the command tank. That could have pretty much shot it down there. Instead, he has to try and recruit the anti-tank gun while under fire from the command tank inside of his own base. He might want to lay down smokescreen first with his rifleman, but no, he doesn't. Instead, he's going to send out troops out from it. There's no point in trying to find the command tank here with the infantry, besides just trying to distract it, I guess. So you might as well send some of his forces eastwards, just trying to secure territory there. Command tank dealing with it. Rather than reinforcing. Machine gun also good to go. Was it actually stuck? Occasionally happens when you get a bit bugged up there, but paratroopers and eastwards there, while the more basic infantry is left to deal with this mess. And there you go. He's going to lay down the smoke screen on the anti-tank and to recruit it. Good work. Good work. As for Freak here, could try and take up. Go for more armor. Good work there. Needs to be Schnell though. There you go. Grab the anti-tank and under the nose of the command tank. And meanwhile the paratroopers are moving eastwards there. This is tense. And there he goes. Guarded up. He's guarded up. Command tank, they're moving in up close. Here we got paratroopers gonna do this. One squad flank up with the other taking hits here, getting shredded out in the open because a lot of them are refusing to get into bloody cover. There you go, anti-tank rifle grenade. There you go, paratroopers flank up. There you go, got tactical assault. Or tactical assault, then they're going to do this. Wiping out one squad there with accurate submachine gun fire while the paratroopers squad almost wiped out. Heavy losses here for both sides. But getting a wipe there on Freak will send help. There you go, get another wipe. He could get another wipe. Command tank there being pushed back somehow. Got the anti-tank and could be afraid to push on further. And there you go. Grenadiers almost wiped out. There's a half-tech punish. Well, they actually just whipped the half-tech. He probably could have won with the Grenadiers, but oh well, too late. Oh, he needs to get both of his paratrooper squads out of there. One is already making its way back towards the base. Another Stuart for Redxwings. Fine attack up there for Freak as well. In that regard, he's just getting too focused there. Too focused on the sort of taking out Redxwings. He's sort of forgetting about other possibilities to further prepare for the fight ahead. In that regard, he needs to work a bit on his tech. But still, getting up the Supremacy Corps there. Needs to get the victory points. That will try and bleed out Redxwings. Lieutenant making way back. Stuart halfway down there for Redxwings. Phew. This fight is intense. Also hot today. And humid, but this is an intense fight. We got Telemines down there. Gute Arbeit, Leute. Machine gun bunker somewhere. Command bunker would also be pretty good for him. Befehlspanzerwagen there patrolling the area, looking for any Americans trying to sneak about. Mortify there against infantry, needs to retreat that one. Both paratroopers, of course, they're back from reinforce. It's going to be a bit costly for them, though. They do cost 28 manpower to reinforce, but still wanting to get them going, though. They should be quite useful there versus Redxwings. Not Redxwings, but Freak. There you go, Stuart. They're setting up there for Redxwings and the 1st Armoured Division. Half-track they're patrolling. Veteran 2. Trying to get close enough to the machine gun. He could try and lay down the smoke and then grab it. Not moving half-track, they're a bit too close. He doesn't know there's an anti-tank gun, though, of course, nearby. But there you go, command tank back as well. There goes. Shots fired. Half-track almost down. Stuart, they're pushing on against the command tank. Forcing the tank to pull back, partly because there's an anti-tank and supporting. But he doesn't want to risk getting blinded in front of it. But now Freak is in control of most all of the map here. Could lay down Propagandacaster to hold there. There's a lot of possibilities for Freak to do at the moment. A lot of possibilities. Though he needs to replace some of his infantry losses. Panzer on the DCO I think would be a good choice. We've got a Panther on the way for Freak. Panther on the way for Freak. Fixing up the Stuart there. Paratroopers, Lieutenant, moving eastward to secure the fuel on their way from those damnable Krauts. Stuart moving up here through the western road. And oh, he's attempting to turn it on, but at the same time standing up for the paratroopers to cover the retreat path there with tactical assault. So in theory there, if he gets to this retreat, he can just basically just murder them with the paratroopers. They're guaranteeing a wipe. In this case, he doesn't even need, I think, tactical assault to finish the job. But, you know, if it became necessary, he could do it. Command tank rolling down there, but that's another wipe there for Freak, who's now very short on infantry. In that regard, Redxwings there, while behind connected, gain, you know, a chance of getting back in the game, reduced to consistently wipe Freak's grenadiers because Freak is just underestimating those paratroopers. Again, he's got 2 submachine gun equipped squads, which is quite potent. Lieutenant on the other hand needs to get the devil out of there. Away regular Panther out there for Freak and the Fatherland. Adding pinned up machine guns and spotting scopes there for it. Green the machine gun again. Almost got this on the fuel point. He's actually moved back the command tank. I'm not entirely sure why he moved it away in the first place. He might have been worried about anti-tank and creeping up on him or something. And there you go, Redxwings just retreats. So he doesn't try to finish it. Possibly realizing that might, or figuring it's going to be too lethal, and that's certainly not a bad assumption there by him. But there you go, so moving heads to it, anti-tank gun, paratroopers, machine guns. And come up, Panther forming up front here. Shot bounce, there you go, we got blinding there on the tank. Oh! He sets off his own telemine! His own telemine was set off! Ambushed and destroyed. Huge loss there for Freak. Paratrooping forward, they're shredding the half-track up close for the Thompsons. No mess, the half-track they're getting away. Mortar being forced away as well. And again, without infantry, you suddenly can't stop this. I mean, all of a sudden, Redxwings is in a very strong position again. This is why it's important to have infantry. All of a sudden, Freak's centre is being torn apart. Swing up the command tank trying to stall it, but now both anti-tankers there can be utilised against him. Redxwings own, and the anti-tank is now stealing away from Freak. This is really bad for Freak again. He needs infantry. And the half-track goes down to the Stuart. Another big loss there for Freak and the 1 16th Panzer Division Winhund. Command tank goes down as well. Freak getting absolutely brutalised here by Redxwings. Brutalised. He should have replaced his infantry losses when he could have. I think that fuel cache was a bit too early there with only 2 grenadier squads. If you had gone for some Panthers, at least that way, you know, in terms of kind of sensible front line. But now, of course, too late. At least lay down some S-mines to command bank or machine gun banks. There's just so much that he could have done, but I think it's just a bit too focused, just trying to crush Redxwings as fast as possible. Ambulance on the way there for Redxwings. Ambulance. This is pushing westwards there. Stuart veterans 1, and we got Lieutenant there blitzing away for the southern fuel point. They're using his sprint ability to get ahead. Panther 4, number 2 on the way for Freak, but now his forces have been severely diminished. Again, the infantry losses being his biggest issue. He went from like having 4 grenadier squads to now being down to 1. And he's not going for Panther grenadiers, he's going for regular grenadiers, but versus, you know, lieutenants and a lot of veteran paratroopers, Panther is probably going to have a better chance of getting back into this. In particular, since he didn't go for assault support, which could have offered him strafing runs, but also just offers to boost his infantry that way as well. So I think you should be aiming for Panzer Grenadiers here versus Redxwings. There you go. 116th Panzer Division calling in its 2nd Panzer Kampfwagen 4. Grabbing the northern field point there as well. He's going to take up. He's just going to call in a lot of Greyhounds. There you go. He's taking up. He's going for the major now. He's going to go for some armor, some medium tanks. Paratroopers there moving ahead, sweeping, slowly scanning the battlefield for any sign of Germans. Paratrooping northwards, and we actually got a bunker going down in the centre. Paratrooping into the Grenadiers line of fire. The light machine gun quickly cutting them down. My God, they got Dennis. Who's Dennis? You know. Dennis. No, I don't know Dennis. Tell you. There's the retreating bunker almost done. He can not upgrade it yet anyway. So he's got no pack 4. He needs his Panzer 4 as fast as possible. The Panzer 4's rocket up north. There you go. Quick up one of his rocket squads. There you go. Bit of a loss there for Redxwings. Bit of a loss. But he needs to get the Panzer 4 down. Then Paratroopers almost brought up here by the mortar. Veteran free. 18 kills for Germany. That's Vaterland. Panzer 4, of course, needs to be careful with any anti-tanks. Again, this lack of infantry support is going to make it hard for him to clear out any anti-tank guns. And there you go. Shoots, but misses the Stuart. Major out there, and there you go. Panzer 5 hit. Panzer 4 misses again, though. And there you go. Paratroopers ambushing the... Oh, there you go. Panzer 4 needs to get out. It's getting blinded and getting hit there by anti-tank guns. Pretty bad there for Freak. Pretty bad. We got Pioneers flanking, but they're not really going to have any impact there despite the flame from the machine guns versus the Stuart. You need to clear out the anti-tank guns so the Panzer 4 can get back in there. Paratroopers squad, that looks like I tried to flank with set encountered an awful lot of angry Germans. Still needs more infantry. In the south, the lieutenant suffering the wrath of the Panzer. Ooh, direct hit, wiped. BAR drop. That's going to hurt their Redxwings there quite a bit. He's just down to the paratroopers now. He is also on infantry, though his infantry is still qualitatively better than the Grenadiers. In that regard, Freak still needs to consider some Panzer Grenadier. Going for the Austrian there to help deal with infantry, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, though I still think Panzer Grenadiers should be applied there as well. And sending about destroying the bunker there with the anti-tank gun before it's actually upgraded. Pioneers hard to work there with the Panzer 4. Down the bunker goes, mortar exposed. Need to sort of hit the rest of the map. He also should try and grab that BAR and turn it against Redxwings. As for Redxwings, he's either setting up for another airdrop combat group or he's setting up for a show, and it's a bit hard to say there. Could of course be he's well trying to save up for both. But there you go, flak pants out there for Freak. Paratroopers sitting in the centre there. Victory points wise, Freak still has a massive lead there over Redxwings. Massive. And we got smoke screen down there. I'm guessing he's using it for reconnaissance, basically. Because there's no point always throwing the smoke there. But again, the aircraft there basically gets a bit of line of sight. And they're going to tank immediately carrying the Panzer 4. In this regard, you know, northern flank here would have been pretty good for him. Instead, he's just committing everything here to the Bermuda Triangle of Samoski. Again, this little corner here, which tends to be a bit of a death trap. Because again, a lot of players just throw everything in there, never consider flanking from the north. Which is actually pretty good. Perhaps we can close the machine gun, that's going to get wiped out there. Good work by Redxwings. Saucepan's trying to flank up behind again. At least one. The anti-tank is out of the way. Panzer 4 being pushed back. Machine gun wiped. That's another machine gun lost there for Freak. Mortar moving up. Grenadiers looks slightly trying to get the anti-tank gun there. Need to treat the Pioneers before they wipe. They dropped another weapon there. Light machine gun. Wiped. And the paratroopers making a run for the light machine gun. Osman now flanking behind the anti-tank gun there. Redxwings 17 aiming up here for the paratrooper squad. He could go for Sherman now, but he's going for it. He's going for it. There you go. Blinded by the Stuart. Panzer moving to heck from the other side. They're going exposed to the anti-tank guns. Pretty risky. Got one of the anti-tank guns, could get the paratroopers there. But there's so much going on, he could lose the Panzer IV. This is going to be horrible there if he loses it. Oh, he's going to lose it. Blitzes away the Panzer IV. Might escape here. I doubt his Austrian will make it now. He could try and Panzerfaust to suit with his grenadiers. Bit risky, but he lost the Austrian anyways. And the grenadiers too. He's barely got infantry. He needs a lot of infantry. He should go for some Panzer grenadiers. Now he also needs more pioneers to repair his Panzer IV. Sherman on the way now for Redxwings. Need to retreat this mortar. Freak has gone from being in a very dominant position to now being the one dominated. Again, be careful about focusing too much on the centre of some masking. Of course, also know when to just, begin digging in rather than just trying to keep pushing even into your opponent's base. And of course, always make sure you have at least a minimum of 3 infantry squads. In particular, as the Wehrmacht, 3 is absolutely critical. Especially when your opponent has a lot of veteran paratroopers. Need to pull back that Panzer IV. You could risk losing it. There you go, blitz again. You should consider Stuke just support his Panzer IV versus all the other armour. But again, he needs infantry, and he really should go for some Panzer grenadiers. Going to lose those pioneers from retreat here to the paratroopers. Wiped as well. And Sherman, they're arriving for the first armoured division, finally able to call up its actual tanks here. Took them quite a bit of while there. Yeah, sorry, we kept getting lost. Every road is like called Adolf Hitler Strasse. Pretty difficult to then fight the right way. Anyway, it's hard to work there with the Panzer IV. Another one away there for Freak and the 116th Panzer Division Winhund. Trying to steal machine gun, but pretty risky there. That's a loving. Oh dear. Oh god. If he actually uses tactical assault with a light machine gun on those veteran 3 paratroopers, that's a nightmare. That would be a literal nightmare. I don't think anyone's going to die, but again, I think it's only because the paratrooper support squad can actually pick up another weapon besides the submachine guns. So in theory, you could grab a light machine gun and use tactical assault with it. I don't think anyone has ever done it though, but it's a possibility. It's a horrifying one too. Like, how many submachine guns do they have? Do they like the normal number? It looks like it. Yep, they look to have the usual sort of number of 4. Oh, that's only 3. Only 3 of them, I think. So they have slightly less numbers there. Got, I think, the Steward there somewhere. I think he went down to him. Oh, yes, he laid down a tunnel mine there, knocking out the Steward. It's not too bad. At least that was one mine that didn't kill him. But still, paratroopers with a light machine gun and tactical assault. Stuff of nightmares. But there you go. Freak now has some possible chance of actually getting back, and it's also finding up some tank there. But note though, no support for the northern prong of his assault. But still, he's not just committing everything to through here, though he's still committing the vast part of his force, which is still not fully good. I mean, it's basically where Redxwings can expect the assault. This is also very 100% of tank to be pointing, which means the Panzer IV is sending in there. It's going to take a lot of fire. And get better with the Panzer IV moving in here, both even moving in. There's he tap with infantry from the front and then flank there, completely catching Redxwings off guard. We got another airdrop combat group in there for Redxwings. Second one here to support the 1st Armoured Division. Paired with their light machine gun and submachine guns, tearing into the grenadiers. Need to retreat. Prey doesn't go for tactical assault. Wipe the grenadiers. Suppressed by them before these retreat. The grenadiers, they're rough grenading the anti-tank gun, but they get wiped. Not good there. Light machine gun dropped by the paratroopers. Panzer IV gonna get lost there. And kaput. Freak really needs to work on his combat tactics. He also needs to work on playing Samoski better, because again he's just falling into a lot of the usual pitfalls there of Samoski. In particular as the Germans. Again, they just focus too much on the centre, and if the north they focus too much on this part. Again, this is in fact the least sort of used spot you should use. Again, it's only used to actually get into the village if there's no opposition here. Otherwise you have to attack through here. We can consider attack through here, maybe. Or at least you have to attack through here. Auto attack through here. Instead you're just attacking solely through here. It is not really good, especially when your opponent knows you're coming and he's going to set up anti-tank guns. So there's really some work there for Frick to be done there. Anyways, double paratrooper escorts there. One with bazookas, one with a light machine gun. Note the light machine gun team only gets one LMG. There's a fun fact as well. Panther 4 needs to be careful there. Bazooka team, on the other hand, gets double bazookas though. Of course, they don't get any abilities. Although I think they can actually lay down mines. Petrol's almost wiped out. Almost lost his Panzer 4 there. Freak really needs some Pentagon of these, though. Really needs them. Sadly, he's not going for them. He seems to be not a fan of them. There you go. They lost it, but they regained it. I like to call it Little Bobby. You what? I like to call it Little Bobby. Shut up. I'll slap you and then take the light machine gun from you.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Anyways, another Panzer IV again. He's just forsaking all infantry, just focusing on the Panzers. Meanwhile, Redxwings is just getting a lot of elite infantry. He's got 4 paratrooper squads on the battlefield. 4 of them. That is insane. Well, besides, again, having a veterinary fleet paratrooper squad with submachine guns and an LMG-42, that's even more insane. Also, a quick thanks, or big thanks to Lucas for, by the way, donating to the Propagandacast and supporting it. Most appreciated, most appreciated. Helping keep your support on the Propagandacast, allowing me to do this. So, of course, also a big thanks to all my Patreon pledges, who are certainly the primary sort of current reason I can keep doing this video. So, if you want to do it, do consider it. Links are in the video description. Just a quick note there. Quick mention. Of course, a quick thanks to all those people who keep supporting me. Most appreciated. Just in the little fighting, but there goes just killing most of the map. And again, he's just going for the same spot. Seems like freaking that regard is not very tactically flexible. Okay, he's not quite going through there. That's better. But again, it's just one of those very, very common Axis flaws. You just always go through here. Even when it does make sense, they will practically always attack through there again. This is might as well just be, you know, Narnia. For about as much they use it, because apparently it doesn't exist in their head. It exists in reality, only in, you know, world of dreams. His veteran Panzer IV almost good to go. Another Sherman away there for Redxwings. And there you go, laying down mines. So yeah, paratrooper support squads can lay down mines. Little fun fact there as well, that's the little extra ability they have compared to regular paratroopers. Besides, in several cases, not having quite as many weapons. They do have the ability to lay down mines. Which certainly is nothing to be scoffed at, in particular when the opponent knows how to use those mines. So good work there by Redxwings. Good work. More mines. He is not taking this lightly at all. Going to do this with a BAR and an LMG, I imagine. No, they don't active resources to it. And he's just going to attack from the exact same angle again. Although it looks like he's going to further spread up there. So attack through there. It's better. Not perfect, but it's better than what he's usually been doing. Slightly better committed to that attack. That's been laid down any mines there to cover up. No, good. Being held up with paratroopers, Panzer IV stopping up rather than trying to get behind the anti-tank gun. And that's nothing to support it, so that was overall less well executed there. Ultimately, though, by Freak, forced back with the Panzer IV there. Almost lost in the north. Panzer IV's falling back. There's got paratroopers with bazookas moving ahead. Need to get that Panzer IV fixed up there for Germany. Paratroopers there, straight encounter into the Panzer IV, like a heavy machine gun team there as well, quickly turning into them. Quick hit from the Sherman. Almost got some poor bastard. Well, he actually got some poor bastard there. Sherman's going straight for the Panzer IV here. Pack 40 moved up there, but not quite in time to deal with the Sherman. There we go, got one hit, Smoking down on the Pack 40. In front of it, good work there, good work. Preventing from just shooting. Excellent use of smoke there by Redxwings. Excellent use. Comparatively, I mean, your Freak could just smoke the anti-tank when they're attacking into there. He could just lay down the smoke screen in front of his force and rush them, but he just doesn't do it. In that regard, Freak Really needs to work on his tactical abilities to an extent. Because it really just chosen the most inefficient method to attacking Samoski possible. Again, head-on assaults into an area where their opponents are expecting, with no smoking from either his doctrine or his mortar. There you go, Petrol being hit up north though, Petrol cleaning up the anti-tank gun there. Not good for Freak and the 116th Panzer Division. Germs being fixed up, anti-tank gun moving ahead. Panther 4's in a weak condition. There we go, hits a mine, hits a mine. Troops are up in the centre. Grenadiers they're taking heavy fire. Shams moving through here. With the Pack 40 gone, his Panther 4's a lot of trouble. His other Panther 4 can't support it either. And going to tank and blows apart the Panther 4. We got the smoke screen down here from Freak. Finally to cover up his own forces, but even that, you know, it's just too late. Not enough foresight there. He should have laid down before moving the Panther 4 through there. Instead, he just was too late. Instead, now the Germans using the smoke against Freak. Going straight for a second Panzer. Knocking it out. Freak going for another Panther 4. By this stage, I think it's just too late. He's just losing too much. He's got practically... Yeah, now he's got no infantry left. And Redxwings is basically holding all the cards. And most of the map. And there you go. GG. Game over. Freak surrenders. A loss for the German army. A victory for America, freedom and democracy. A brutal fight here with a lot of good stuff going on. Again, flanking, smoke, ambulance being used aggressively, recon support, greyhounds, paratrooper support squads, paratroopers with actually 3 light machine guns. I mean, just so much crazy play there from Redxwings. It's just an extent worked out there. Partly because again of the mistakes Freak made. Again, Freak initially led, but he just wasn't good in securing that lead. He was weak in taking up there. Always something you have to be careful about as the Wehrmacht. Didn't mind up or bunker up when he could have. Didn't try to push for the other. And they also just committed to some, I think, not very good assaults. Plus, finally, again, he was just too focused on this corner of the map. Again, it's just... I cannot emphasize this enough. This is a bad spot to attack from. This is a terrible spot to attack Samoski from the north, especially as the Wehrmacht. If you want to attack from here, or if you absolutely have to attack from here, you smoke to cover up the assault. Because really, this is a funnel that, benefits the one who's holding the village. This is an absolutely atrocious piece of map design. Overall, I kind of wish they'd change it. But, until they do, stop going through the funnel that benefits the defender. I can't stress this enough. I even made a video on it, pointing out, there's a better way to attack this map than just through this. So, yeah, just please don't. Please promise me you won't. Anyways, he still made a lot of good moves. He had the half-tech, But again, there were just too many things that just didn't quite add up there, ultimately, for Freak. So, there you go. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to the friends. Share it with everyone. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Cheers, everybody.